Lesson 1. What are bacteria? Characteristics of bacteria. Did you know that billions of tiny organisms too small to be around you? These organisms called bacteria even live inside your body. Bacteria are microscopic prokaryotes. You might recall what the prokaryote is: a unicellular organism that does not have a nucleus or other membrane-bound organelles. Bacteria lives in almost every habitat on Earth, including the air, glaciers, the ocean floor, and in the soil. A teaspoon of soil can contain between 100 million and 1 billion bacteria. Bacteria can live in on almost every organism, both living and dead. Hundreds of species of bacteria live on your skin. In fact, your body contains more bacteria cells than human cells. The bacteria in your body outnumber human cells by 10 to 1. Other prokaryotes, called Archaea singular, are similar to bacteria and share many characteristics with them, including the lack of membrane-bound organelles. Archaea live in places where few organisms can survive, such as very warm areas or those with little oxygen. Both bacteria and Archaea are important to life on Earth. Structure of bacteria. A type of bacterium, such as the one shown in Figure 1, consists of cytoplasm and DNA structure by a cell membrane and a cell wall. The cytoplasm also contains ribosomes. Most bacteria have DNA that is one coiled circular chromosomes. Many bacteria also have one or more small circular pieces of DNA called plasmids that are separated from its other DNA. For some bacteria have specialized structures that help them survive. For example, the bacterium causes pneumonia, covering or capsule around its cell wall. The capsule protects this bacterium from dying out. It also prevents white blood cells from surrounding and antibiotics from entering it. Many bacteria have capsules like hair-like structures called pili that help the bacteria stick to surfaces. Size and shape of bacteria. Bacteria are much smaller than plant or animal cells. Bacteria are generally only 1 to 5 micrometers. 1 m equals 1 million UM. While an adventures of eukaryotic cell is 10 to 100 wide, scientists estimate that as many as 100 bacteria could be lined up across the head of a pin. As shown in Figure 2, bacteria generally have one of the basic shapes: obtaining food and energy. Bacteria live in places because these environments are very different. Bacteria obtain food in various ways. Some bacteria take in food and break it down and obtain energy. Many of these bacteria feed on dead organisms or organic waste, as shown in Figure 3. Others take their nutrients from living hosts. For example, bacteria that cause tooth decay live in dental plaque or on teeth and feed on sugars in the food you eat and the beverages you drink. Some bacteria make their own food. These bacteria use light energy and make food like most plants do. These bacteria live where there is a lot of light, such as the surface of lakes and streams. Other bacteria use energy from chemical reactions and make their food. These bacteria live in places where there is no sunlight, such as the dark ocean floor. Most organisms, including humans, cannot survive without oxygen. However, certain bacteria do not need oxygen to survive. These bacteria are called anaerobic bacteria. Bacteria that need oxygen are called aerobic bacteria. Most bacteria in the environment are aerobic. Movement. Some bacteria are able to move around to find the resources that they need to survive. These bacteria have special structures for movement. Many bacteria have long whip-like structures called flagella, as shown in Figure 4. Others twist or spiral as they move. Still, other bacteria uses their pili like grappling hooks or make thread-like structures that enable them to push away from a surface. Reproduction. You might recall that organisms reproduce asexually or sexually. Bacteria reproduce asexually by fission. Fission is cell division that forms two genetically identical cells. Fission can occur quickly, as often as every 20 minutes under ideal conditions. Bacteria produced by fission are identical to the parent cell. However, genetic variation can be increased by the process called conjugation. Shown in figure 5, during conjugation, two bacteria of the same species attach to each other and combine their genetic material. DNA is transferred between the bacteria. This results in new combinations of genes. Increasing genetic diversity, new organisms are not produced during conjugation, and so the process is not considered reproduction. Endospores. Sometimes environmental conditions are unfavorable for the survival of bacteria. In these cases, some bacteria can be formed endospores. An endospore forms when a bacterium builds a thick internal wall around its chromosome and part of cytosol. As shown in figure 6, an endospore can protect the bacterium for intense heat, cold, or drought. It also enables bacteria from intense heat, cold, and drought. It also enables bacterium to reach dormant for months or even centuries. The ability to form endospores enables bacteria to survive extreme conditions that would normally kill them. Archaea, prokaryotes called Archaea, were once considered bacteria. Like bacterium, an archaean has a cell wall and no nucleus or no membrane-bound organelles. Its chromosome is also circular, like those in bacteria. However, there are some important differences between Archaea and bacteria. The ribosomes of Archaea more closely resemble in the ribosomes of eukaryotes than those of bacteria. Archaea also contain molecules in the plasma membrane that are not found in any other known organisms. Archaea often lives in extreme environments such as hot springs and salt lakes. Some scientists refer to Archaea as extremophiles. A term means those that love extreme.